Hello everyone, Mr. Lipchick here, and our topic for discussion is Europe's cultural landscape. European culture. European culture is an overlapping of many different experiences, peoples, and customs. European culture includes literature, art, music, religion, sports, and festivals. Some of Europe's most celebrated artists include William Shakespeare, the writer, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, composer, Ludwig van Beethoven, composer, whom you see to the right, Michelangelo, the painter, and Leonardo da Vinci, who was a scientist, artist, and inventor. You could go to pretty much any part of the world and mention these names, and you will get some recognition that that's understood who they are. All right, whenever you hear the word Western referring to having its origins in Western Europe, we'll talk for a moment about Western culture. Europe is the birthplace of Western civilization, which has spread throughout the globe. Ancient Greece was the country where that created the Western philosophies. Roman civilization spread those philosophies and developed the idea of natural law. And natural law is simply laws fundamental to all people, regardless of culture and history. The Romans traveled a lot, they saw various peoples, and they believed that there was a universal law which could be discovered by man if he thought enough about it. This translated into English common law and eventually our legal system. Okay, Eastern versus Western civilizations. Western culture is often linked to modernization, reason, and scientific advancement. And a lot of that has to do with its vast coastline, which enabled it to travel and visit other countries and exchange ideas. Eastern civilizations are often identified for their adherence to tradition. Western civilizations emphasize the right of the individual, while Eastern civilizations often emphasize the rights of the group. These divisions in Europe are often linked to the Great Schism, a religious divide that occurred within Christianity in the Middle Ages. It's important to keep in mind, however, when we talk about Eastern civilizations, is we do not wish to stereotype. And it should be noted that Western ideals, scientific advancement, political reforms, all of these things are spreading throughout the globe, as they have been for hundreds of years. Religion. Religions have played an important role in the development of European culture. Roman Catholicism was the dominant religion in Europe until the Protestant Reformation. A monk, Martin Luther, posted his 99 Theses on the door of the Wittenberg Cathedral and is identified with beginning the movement known as the Reformation, which was, people revolting against the Catholic Church, which had its issues at the time. And it's important to keep in mind that there were other movements at the time, other Protestant movements such as John Huss, the Lollards. There were other Protestant movements, but they didn't pick up the political power that the Lutheran movement did. Luther allied himself with a lot of powerful German princes who wanted freedom from the Holy Roman Emperor, and that gave him a lot of political support, and that assisted him. Religious conflict has been at the center of many wars in Europe. The 30 Years' War raged in Europe and killed 1/3 of the population of Germany. Okay, in fact, many of the Pennsylvania Dutch and Amish who inhabit Pennsylvania, many of their ancestors came here after the 30 Years' War because their region was so devastated. Jews have suffered persecution throughout Europe's history. And Muslim immigrants have experienced discrimination in some European states. So religion has served as a basis for many things, but it has also created a great deal of conflict within Europe as well. European religions of today include Roman Catholicism, Eastern Orthodoxy, Protestant Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and many other smaller religious groups. And many Europeans today simply do not practice a religion. They're far less religious than they were 50 years ago. European languages. Most European languages, particularly those of Western Europe, have a common Indo-European linguistic ancestor. They also fall into smaller language groups. For instance, there is the Romance language, which are Spanish, French, and Italian. The Germanic language group, Slavic, which is like Polish and Russian and so forth. Uralic, from the Urals. Turkic, and Baltic. And also Celtic from the British Isles. Within the languages and religions, there are also hundreds of local dialects, and these differ from the main language in pronunciation, grammar, or vocabulary. For instance, if you travel around Italy, if you go from Sicily to mainland Italy, you will see two very different dialects of Italian spoken. In fact, you probably won't find them mutually understandable. Okay, that includes our discussion of Europe's cultural landscape. I thank you for attending, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lesson. Have a great day.